Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to CP104 review sessions. If you've been here before, if you haven't been here, welcome. So we're going to get started off this year with string formatting and formatted output. It's a pretty simple review session, but we'll take you through it. We'll take you through some practice problems. And so, yeah, let's get started. Uh, so make sure your stream is not muted. And we can get started. Sorry about all those technical difficulties. Sessions in the future will be running more smoothly than this. I can promise you that. Okay, so let's get started. So everybody make sure that you sign in just so you can get this on your Laurier experience record. I'll leave this up for a quick moment and we can come back to it as well at the end if somebody needs it. So we'll keep it up for a little bit longer. Okay, so let's move on. So really quick before we get started, there is a Notion 101 event happening on October 7th. That's online. So if anybody wants to get introduced to a really cool tool that is Notion, it'll help you get really organized before midterms. Notion 101 is a great place to get introduced, get kind of a tutorial around the software, and kind of get some tips and tricks from people who are experts in the field. Yeah, so whoever said they missed the code, I will put it back up at the very end. So don't worry about that. We'll get to it. And yeah, if you guys want to join Project Program, details are on our Instagram as well as pods. Details will be on our Instagram for that. And make sure you check out our other review sessions happening bi-weekly throughout the school year. And we will be having midterm and final reviews in person. So look out for those. So yeah, let's get started with today's review session. So we're going to look at really quickly data types and then move on to console outputs, output formatting, writing code, and practice problems. So yeah, let's get started. Mila, can you test out your audio again, just really quick? Somebody in the chat, let me know if you can hear Mila because we were having a few technical difficulties beforehand. Hello? I can't hear you either. One sec. Okay. So that's fine. I guess we're having some technical difficulties with that. So you guys are going to have to bear with me for the rest of this review session. I understand if people want to leave. I know I'm not the most attractive looking person, but if you bear with me, I'm sure we'll learn a few things together. So yeah, let's get started. All right. So first things first, in Python, there are data types that certain variables can hold. So the ones that we're going to be focusing on today mostly are strings because we're looking at string formatting. And strings are pretty much just words or characters. And yeah, essentially they can hold any value that is a character. Numbers they can also hold, but you can't do arithmetic on strings. So keep that in mind, future. Floats are real numbers if you guys have done math previously. And if you haven't, they're just decimal point numbers. Integers, or ints, as we call them in Python, are just that. They are integers. And we have real numbers listed here as well, which can be integers and floats as well. But we only really look at floats and ints when we speak about Python. And so let's move on from data types. Let's look at some quick practices. So I'm sure we can all name these data types. So the first one, if you guys want to type in chat, who has the answer to that? What kind of data type is that? All right, chat's kind of tough crowd out here. So whoever said float in their head was correct. So the second type, we can see that it is a word. So who has the answer for that? What kind of data type is that? String, correct. Real nether. You're my favorite so far. And now we have the number 4. And Cowboy got the answer right there. Cowboy's ahead of the curve, guys. Be like Cowboy. So float, string, int is correct. So console output. So a print statement prints the context of the output and makes it easy to do without significant variable types. You can print two different data types since Python has some behind the scenes action to convert the types into string outputs. So we can see here a very simple example. We set x equal to 23, and then we can say print banana x, and that'll print banana 23. So anything that's not in the parentheses will print as the variable, or in the case of the one that's below it, it'll print as just the int. So we can see if we say monkey 45 in the print statement, that'll just be, it'll print out monkey 45 just like that. So that's why Python is really good with its print statements. You can insert any kind of data type and it'll print it out, and you can have it be read easily by whoever is using the code. All right, so moving on. Let's get some things to note. So print alone, if you say print without anything in it, that displays a line break. So we can see in the example here, if we say the same thing but have a print statement in between, it's going to be banana 23 and then a space in between and then monkey 45. And formatted outputs let Python output variable values in print statements. So we can see here the x, it's always going to be printing at the end. And so sometimes we want to print variables in the middle of strings, at the start of strings. Regardless, we would like to be able to format them so we can use them easily. So in this example, we use f strings, but we can also use a dot format option as well. We can look over that if somebody has any questions, but f strings are now the standard in Python. So we begin a formatted string saying f, and then the parentheses for whatever string we want to output. And then in squiggly brackets, we can put a variable. And so we can see here, let's say the variable was 123.44345. So it's to 5 decimal places. If we print it out just like that, it'll return with 5 decimal places. So let's say, for example, in this example, we just want to return 2 decimal places. We can do that with formatting. So we can say :.2f, which means rounding the float to 2 decimal places. So as you can see, when we input this, the print statement is going to return the exact price as 123.44. So some output formatting examples. So D, whenever we put D in the squiggly bracket, that means it's an int that we're formatting. F means float and S means string. So let's say we want 10 spaces for an int. We can say 10D after our variable in the squiggly brackets. If we want to centralize the content and reserve 10 spaces, we can have the little power symbol and 10D because it's an integer. Reserves 10 spaces and aligns content to the left. That's the greater than or less than 10 in this case. And then the greater than aligns it to the right and reserves 10 spaces for the integer. We can fill the empty spaces with whatever character we want. So in this case, if we put an asterisk before the power sign, it's going to fill whatever that is on the left and the right with the power sign. If we do the same with 0, it's going to fill the first. Or sorry, in this case, it would align it to the right. So only everything on the left, those 10 spaces are going to be filled with zeros, or not 10 spaces, but rather whatever is left of the 10 spaces when the int is printed. So let's say the int is 4 digits, then we'd have 6 zeros before those 4 digits in this case. So here we can see this is formatting float with 2 decimal places, aligning it to the right as well. And then we can see in the last one, it's allotting 10 spaces to the float and then rounding it to do 2 decimal places as well. So moving on from that, we can see some mixed formatting. So here we're using the dot format instead of just the F string. So here we can see we're allotting 9 spaces for the output, and here we're rounding and allotting 9 spaces as well. And we're doing a dot format rather than an F string, so it works pretty much the same way, except you just put dot format at the end of your parenthesis instead of the F string beforehand. So there's a kind of a correct and an incorrect way to type code. So first things first, we want to define constants, which are numbers that we can use, or not even numbers, but any variables that we can use throughout the entire file with all caps. So constants are always going to be in all caps. We want to use meaningful variable names. So a big thing that I see first year students doing is calling things A, for example, B, for example, C. And we don't really want to do that because single letter variable names are used more for loops in the future. So we want to name it something meaningful so that whoever's reading our code has a much easier time. So let's say if you have height, for example, you don't want to call it just H or A. That can be interpreted as many other things. If we say height, it makes it a lot easier for whoever's reading, whoever's editing, and whoever's using our code to verify what's going on, even if they might not know Python all that well. So you want to make sure, especially for the labs, that you format your output to match the sample solutions. The labs and the assignments are auto-graded. So if you don't match the solutions exactly, it's not going to give you the marks that you deserve, even if you got the right answer. So as we were talking about before, this is all, other than really the format your output to match the sample solutions, these are all for readability's sake. So making your code as readable as possible is kind of a given in this sense. You want to make sure that it's not all over the place. You're not starting something, you're defining a variable here and then doing a calculation with it like halfway down the file and then doing a bunch of stuff like just in a random order. You kind of want to keep stuff ordered and easy to read, not just for your sake in the future when you're referencing it. So you're like, sometimes if you have really bad handwriting and you go back to it, you're not going to really understand what's going on because some words you can't read. And especially for code, it's a lot bigger of an issue. If you can't understand the code, it's going to take you a lot longer to really learn from it in the future. Let's say you're studying for an exam or something and looking at lab code. And this is where comments come into play as well. If you want to make your code more readable for yourself and for other people, add comments, which are in Python, they start off with a hashtag. So anything with a hashtag, that line will be commented out and it won't run in the program. So add comments wherever possible. And yeah, so just define. So let's look over this again. So constants are all capital letters. Use meaningful variable names. Don't use single letter. Format your output to match sample solutions. That's a really big thing. Make your code as readable as possible. And with that, add comments to your code so you can understand it and other people can understand it. So let's look at a quick example. So this is very similar to an example you guys had in your lab. So let's write Python code that uses single print function and the triple quotes to print the following output. So the reason why we want to use triple quotes in this, it may seem kind of unintuitive at first, but there's two reasons why we want to use triple quotes. So first things first is this is multiple lines with different spacing on each line. Of course, we could go through each line and print it one by one, but that again would not be very readable for whoever's using it in the future or for yourself. It like you don't want to go sit there typing however many print statements this is. So you can do it all in one line. So the triple quotes allows you to expand your string to multiple lines. So here we can start the triple quotes at the very start here and end them right here. And this will all be one string together. If we only put a single quote here and we end it here, Python is going to give you an error because it understands the single quote as just being one line maximum of code. So another reason we have to use the triple quotes is because we want to print these single parentheses. If we were just to print this line, but we put just a single quotation mark here, it wouldn't print properly because it doesn't understand that these quotation marks within want to be printed. So in that case, we would have to put two quotes here and two quotes here if we were just printing the first line. And so that's another reason we have to use triple quotes in this scenario. So as we can see here, we just use triple quotes and one singular print function and triple quotes to end it off. And now it'll just print this to, I think there's an output or not. It'll just print this entire string as an output. So that's good. So example 2, write a program that asks the user to enter the following amounts as floats, print the resulting total kilograms with amounts lined up. So this is also very similar to your lab example. So we want to first, let's break this problem down. We want to get 3 inputs, one for flour, one for sugar, and one for fairy dust. So another big thing that I've seen a lot of first years mess up in the labs is they're not getting their inputs in the correct order. So the auto grader assumes that you are getting your inputs in the same order that the examples get the inputs. So let's say for flour, let's say you put enter amount of sugar first instead of enter the amount of flour. It's not really going to work out. Well, for this question, it doesn't really matter because the answer is just the sum of all of them. But for a different question, this would make a big difference because the inputs would not be the same as expected. So let's say in this case, we just want 3 input statements, one for each variable. We want to assign them all a variable, and then we want to sum them and format it correctly. So if we see here, this is how we want it formatted. We want all the end digits lined up. So what we can do here, we set flour to float of the input of the amount of sugar. So we know here that input statements return a string, and we want to change the string from a string to a float because the amount of flour can be a decimal. But let's say we said bags of flour and we only wanted integers, we would change this float right here to int. So same goes with the sugar and same goes for the fairy dust. And we can just total them up for our calculation. And here we're formatting our output. So we're printing it, we're printing an empty line, we're printing flour equals, and then flour, so we're giving it 11 spaces on the left, and then rounding it to 1 decimal space. Same thing for sugar. And fairy dust, we want 6 just because fairy dust itself is already more characters over. So we want to just line them all up. And total is 11.1f as well. So we're giving the string 11 characters, or the float, sorry, in this case, 11 characters, and then 1 decimal place we're rounding it to. So another thing that we can see here is the comments. These are very important. So we can see that we are commenting for the calculation. So we know that all of our calculations are going to be in this area before our output. And our output as well is commented just a line before. If we wanted to go above and beyond, we could also put a comment up here, which says hashtag and then inputs. So we would know that these are our inputs. Yeah. So let's look at another example. Using the following assignment statements, location equals L, location 2 equals C, and location 3 equals S, write a program to print these values in the following format. So we want one left aligned with dashes filling the rest. We want one center aligned with dashes filling both left and right sides. And we want right aligned with dashes filling the S. Sorry, with the left, my bad. So we want to use output formatting with widths and alignments. So this is what we saw with the colon, the period, the less than, greater than sign, and so forth. So let's look at how we would solve a problem like this. So we see here that these are our inputs. Location 1 equals L, location 2 equals C, location 3 equals S. And so our output is print. It's a formatted string. So we say location 1, this is our variable that we want to format. We say colon to start our formatting. We say dash because that's the character that we want to fill the space with. We say less than 20 because we want it to be left aligned. And we say 20 because that is the amount of space that we want to allot the entire string, so with the dashes and everything. And we say S because what we're formatting is a string. So we do the same thing here, very similar for both the rest. So this one is left aligned because it is greater than 20, and then we use dashes again, so it's going to be, or no, sorry, right aligned, my bad. Right aligned, and then the dashes all on the left. And this one is going to be center aligned with dashes on either side. So that's how kind of the alignment works. So I'll open the floor up to you before we do a little Kahoot. If anybody has, actually, let's do the Kahoot first, and then we'll take any questions after that. So let us begin. I know everybody in here loves Kahoot. Who does not love Kahoot? Seriously, if you guys don't like Kahoot, yeah, no words, realistically, but let's just wait for it to load. I don't know what's going on with my computer audio, but the same reason we can't hear Mila and Jacob is the reason we can't hear the beautiful, beautiful sounds of Kahoot. So let's just get some players in here and we can get started in a little bit. I know, Jacob. I'm right there. Same boat with you. I mean, I can hear them a little bit, but I wish I was sharing this experience with the rest of you guys here. If somebody, this is a joke, by the way. I think I'll get in trouble if I say this, but if somebody tips $5, I will sing the Kahoot song, whatever that may be. Um, yeah. Yo, whoever's named Stephen Goat, like, that really touched my heart and made my day. All right, I'll give it, let's say another minute, and then we'll get started. The rest of you 18 viewers, the 12 left of you who aren't in this Kahoot game, you guys are missing out very, very much. I mean, well, now it's 11 of you, so join up, guys. Okay, we'll give it, let's say 10 more seconds, then we get started. Yeah, I'm kicking out Steven Socks, no cap. No, I'm playing. But, okay, let's get started. We have 10 people. Let's say that's a majority. All right, let's go. Whoever wins, wins bragging rights, and you can take full advantage of those in the chat. Go absolutely ham. Okay, let's get started. Well done to the three of you that made it. Well done. This was a trick question to anybody that, well, I mean, nobody fell for the trick, but let's explain this before we go further. A line break is printed with a backslash and then an N. So this was the closest answer. So you'd say print whatever you have, and then after, in the same parentheses though, you just say backslash N, and that creates a new line. So well done to the four of you that got it right. Stephen Goat is rising the ranks. I'm betting on you. Well done, well done, well done to those that were listening. Let's go, Stephen. Go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Please ride this out for me. Let's go. Two more questions. You got this, Stephen. Go. Whoever it is. Let's go. Okay. So let's also look at this because we didn't really discuss it before we started. So a kind of outdated method of doing string formatting is very similar to the F string, except you would put, instead of the squiggly brackets, you could put a percentage sign, and then that would kind of take the place of the squiggly brackets. And then after the parentheses, you would say squiggly, sorry, you'd say percentage sign and then whichever variable you want, and you could format it like that as well. It's kind of outdated. We don't use it anymore. It's like the default is F strings now, or dot format if you're fancy, but F strings are the way to go. So, oh, let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, I have a good feeling about this round, guys. Well done. Nobody fell for the bait. Well done. So, true, obviously, we know if it was in parentheses, it would qualify as a string. But since it isn't in parentheses, we have a data type in Python called Boolean, which is true or false. Um, and yeah, pretty much it's just true or false. It's like a one or zero value. It's really used for checking and validating certain things. And you'll definitely run into it more later on in the course CP104 and definitely more in CP164. So that's the end. Let's see who won. Come on. 3 out of 5. Nickname, well done. I like your nickname. Smiley face. Made me smile. Let's go. Come on. Do it for me. Do it for me. Let's go. Stephen Goat is the winner, whoever that is. Um, I don't know who you are, but you're the best, regardless. Um, yeah, sorry. Jacob's saying it was rigged, but it's just because he wasn't him. So I'm glad, or I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm glad if you did. Okay, so now I've been speaking for a while. Actually, let me turn off this Kahoot. It's blasting my ear. So well done, Stephen Goat. As I said before, there's not really a prize, but if you want to reveal yourself in the chat and brag about it, by all means. But yeah, I'll open it up to you guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. I know it was kind of a short review session. There isn't much to copy. Well done, Nether. I knew it from the start that you were goated. So yeah, you're my favorite, whoever you are. But yeah, I'll open the floor up to you. Um, okay, you guys don't have to fight over me. It's okay. It's okay. But I know conducted cape, but okay. Regardless, let's get back on topic. If you guys have any questions, just drop them in the chat. I'll be glad to answer anything. I know this was on the shorter side of a review session, but there hasn't really been much content that we can cover. String formatting is it's pretty simple stuff. And yeah, we'll just wait a little bit here before we kind of wrap things up for real, for real. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the review session even a little bit, I promise you that they will only go uphill from here once we figure out some of our technical issues and get some other speakers other than myself speaking here. And yeah, the midterm and final review sessions are going to be really special. Is there going to be a review session every week? I wish there was. but I think we're gonna keep it at bi-weekly right now. Just because, yeah, like Jacob said, October 10th, that is our next one. So if you guys enjoyed the Kahoot, we can definitely implement that more often. I know we didn't really do this. Yes, bi-weekly meaning, no, not twice a week. Bi-weekly meaning once every 2 weeks. Um, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it for that request. But yeah, so as Jacob said, roughly around bi-weekly. October 10th is the next one. I believe, I believe after that is midterm review, or October 10th is midterm review. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the chat, but whoever comes out to that, the midterm review is going to be in person. So, and yeah, for sure, check the Discord for event reminders. Midterm will be in person. You guys will be able to ask any questions, grab free food, obviously. I'll probably do a stand-up set or something by at this rate. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it is. If nobody has any questions, I can leave the chat open just a little bit, just to mess around a bit. But we'll end it in about 2 or 3 minutes. So yeah. Cowboy, like stop. You're making my ego too big, guys. Everybody in the chat, like, please stop gassing me up. My head will explode. So yeah, make sure you guys also sign up, sign into the event. Sorry. Jacob sent it in the chat. It'll go on your Laurier experience record. Good stuff like that. So yeah. My day, Nether, it was beautiful. It's great weather outside. Just got some pizza. It was a great day. Great day. Okay, if nobody else has any remarks and or questions or concerns, I think we can end it off here for tonight. Um, I'm so thankful that all of you guys came out. Sorry again about. Okay, Cowboy, I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. One sec. My favorite language and like um, I don't know anything Cyrillic to be honest. Russian, Ukrainian, those are goaded. Favorite Dorito, um, one's in my mouth. Okay, that's enough for me. Honestly, I've been talking too much, but okay. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys October 10th. Okay, programming language. My favorite programming language is VBA. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys all on October 10th. Um, and yeah, I guess we can end it off here. If and nobody has any more questions, you can leave. I'll probably keep the stream open if people still have comments in the chat. Yeah, VBA. Yeah, VBA is the best. What do you mean pro gaming? Do I watch esports? I don't watch esports. I saw somebody on Instagram selling League of Legends tickets, and I thought it was fun. But no, I haven't. I don't watch esports. EA Sports is in the game. You know it, bro. FIFA's coming out tonight. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be playing that all day and all night. You know what it is. Do I play any games? Not as much as I used to, but yeah, I play here and there. Minecraft, Terraria, FIFA, when I get the chance. Have I heard of Star Citizen? No, I haven't. Please explain. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll check it out. That's cool. I will. I will. Referral code, bro. You're signing me up for a pyramid scheme? What is this? I did not see the new Thor movie. I'm not really a fan of Marvel all too much. Sorry if that offends. Okay, okay. I'm glad to hear. Yo, I'm not. I'm not gonna use a referral code, bro. Have you seen Money Heist? I haven't seen Money Heist. My girlfriend tells me it's really good though. He'll get money? No way, that's crazy. Will he really? Will I have to like sell products too? Girlfriend? Yeah, I have a girlfriend. Sorry, sorry. If that disappoints, guys. Okay, but for real, signing off for tonight. I'm glad you guys enjoyed me. Okay, well, one more question just because it's a new person talking. Was my father leaving his fault or my skill issue? Um, I think it's his fault, realistically. You're worth so much more than what your father tells you you are. You're a great person, whoever you are. Um, but yeah, it has nothing to do with you. Good vibes only. I hope you find him. No, don't say that. No skill issue. Never that. Okay, for real, you guys are gonna keep me here all night. We're calling it a night here. Okay, October 10th, next review session. October 7th, Notion 101. Join project program details on the Discord, Laurier CS, and the Instagram as well. Poggers, that is correct. Um, Pods as well. And have a great night. Say everybody say thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Mila. Thank you, Noah. Even though Mila and Noah didn't really get to do their part, I feel bad. But thank you, Jacob, for moderating. Thank you to myself, I guess. But thank you to you guys first and foremost for coming out. Tell you all your friends about review sessions. They're going to be a great time. So yeah, perfect. I'm going to end the stream off here. Thank you guys for being so active in the chat. Had a great night. See you guys all later. Have a good one. Bye.